Hello everybody, welcome back. We are back at the hardware store today. I'm going to give you guys a little bit longer to vote in the poll. You'll find it on my channel under the comment section, and it's to vote on which elements you'd like to see me decorate with. We built the two semi-detached houses, which can become four semi-detached houses, but we will go back to those next week once we get the results in from the poll. And then we'll use our hardware store to actually get our supplies, of course. So a little bit has changed here. I found some windows that I've put up. We need a lot of wall space, so I just put up very narrow windows there. And I also spent hours putting our paint samples on the wall. What do you think? Those are literally our paint samples. Each one of these is one of these little blocks, and it's painted with the paints from our, if we look at our paints here, I took it mostly from the drabs and the fadeds, because I thought that actually looked pretty good on the wall here. Then we also have samples of wood for the flooring. We have all the paints lined up here with some more color samples. We have wallpaper on this side with samples of wallpaper, and you can see the box actually states wallpaper. This is carpet. If we change that, we can't. You'll see it's the fluffy carpet. You can probably see by the texture. It still says wallpaper, so I'm not going to argue with that. But that was a bit of a surprise. I never noticed that. Over here we have the wood. And on this side we have tiles. So that was just literally stacking shelves. So I thought that would be quite fun for us to have done already, because now we can actually start putting other stuff on the shelves and figuring out how to do this. So what I want to do with these ladders is, seeing as we're using this green as our base, let's do that. And get a couple of color-coded ladders in here. So I'm only going to put one of the big ladders, well, one of each of the big ladders, but we can throw in a couple of little ladders for the heck of it. And then we need to figure out what we want to put on the rest of the shelves. Now, as I said to you, I've got a huge piece of paper, and I have written down all the different sections of my local hardware store. Now, I don't know if this bottle will fit in here. Nope, that's too narrow, which means this bottle will definitely not fit in there. Will it fit? These shelves are terrible. Okay, I'm going to try and put up some tools here. Let's go to our building accessories, and there's a lot of things that we can hang on the wall. I would like to know if we can hang it, say, on a cork board. I think let's go with the same green that we've got going in this whole place. And we can have a whole board of tools, for example. So if I want some axes, we can throw some axes up there. But let's start with, we've got cement, which is great. We can, oh, what did I do? No, don't do that to me. All right, take that off. And let's do that again, damn it. I keep on hitting the undo button with my finger when I want to move sideways, which is irritating, but it is what it is. All right, let's go back here. I was looking at the cement, which we can actually load onto shelves here, because that will actually fit. Awesome. You know, grouting, tile adhesive. We can only change the color of the bag. We can't change any of the text on the bag, which is unfortunate. But by loading it like this, actually it doesn't show the word cement. Okay, maybe we should put a couple of bags underneath here, because we've got paint. Maybe we should go for like a, there, tile cement, I don't know, something cement. Adhesive, grout, take your pick. Okay, that works there. We've got wood on that side and we've got tiles on that side, which can also benefit from both the adhesives and the grouting, well, not the wood. But we have that, and now let's see if we can throw some tools on this board. We don't have paintbrushes, which is unfortunate. I would love paintbrushes in this selection. We've got the little baby brush that you do artwork with, but we don't have sort of like the fancy big roller brush or anything like that. So we're going to have to do fire tool. What is a fire tool? Oh, that's a rasp. My understanding, that's a rasp. That's a chisel. All right, let's start at the top and work our way down. Damn it. Why? I don't like that. No. We'll just put some X's and carpentry hammer. I guess these can go over here. Okay, I slipped there. And does the saw go on the wall? Yes, it does. Now, in the store, we also have a supply of quarry tile and huge cuts of wood and all kinds of interesting stuff downstairs. Last video I actually established that I hadn't made it deep enough, the underground garage, so I have gone back and okay, let's make it look like I meant to do that. What do you say? Yeah, so we actually have a whole bunch of stuff just hanging on the wall here. That's a longer version, so let's Now, I got a comment from one of my subscribers. I think it's Gaming with Nick, who said the outside walls were really white, and I absolutely agree with you. And yes, I'm going to fix that. What I think I'd like to do is maybe, yes, we can, doesn't really work, does it? So maybe some drills here. And then maybe we need some boxes. Do we have closed boxes? No, we don't. That will be standing, yeah, standing decor. How big is that box? Okay. So if we wanted to change the color of that box to sort of, it's not very yellow, is it? Because it's got the underlying. Let's just do that. There we go. So we actually have the boxes of the tools here, of the various stuff, and you can see them behind. And perhaps on the top of the shelves. I was going to make these double-sized shelves, but I don't think we need to. I think we need to just pack them, and then we can put signs and things on the wall. That's not a badly stocked shelf. I think maybe we need a surface to work on. Let's put down a... this is probably better. And we have used the white on the shelves. So if we do that, that's almost part of the shelves that are here. There we go. I think that will work. And then we've got all these other things that we can actually lay out like this. You know how you go in and you've got your tools laid out on the tabletops. You can get to play with them and touch them and get an idea of what you like before you actually buy them. Those like that. And then we've just got that will work. We can put a couple of these there. Yeah, that works. That looks pretty good. And the majority of the other stuff is mostly small tools. Okay, let's get a couple of these ooh, wrong button. Sorry, guys. Actually, have we got a bigger box? We've got this one. Maybe if we do that sort of, yes. Sort of like, okay guys, you want any of these tools? Here are the boxes with the tools in them. And even stick them on the floor underneath here. And then we can always put something on the wall behind there, on that notice board. Now, I wouldn't mind putting paintbrushes and stuff, but we haven't really got, you know what we have got? We got our hobbies. Okay, let's not go to our hobbies right now. Let's go to I'm looking for a box. There's this one. Our base can be that really, ooh, yeah, and no, let's do that. I swear. Thank you. My thought process is we've got all those little art pots of paint. We can maybe use this for samples. Let's start with that. So for example, if you wanted to come and do a sample pot, there's your paint. Oh boy, this is going to be fun, isn't it? So let's go white and green and green. So, whoa, oops. I took a back step and I fell through the floor. So here's our sample pots of paint. We can go downstairs shortly. So there's our white, for example. And it's just a matter of going through here where you can, here's your gray, and on and so on and so forth. And we can run down the, let's do these colors because these, it does need to show, even though the tops are all green. That probably isn't a good idea, is it? So here's your sample pots of paint that you can take home and you can try out on your walls at home. And yes, I'm not going to make you watch this for the next hour and a half while I fill up the sample pots for you. But I think that's a good idea. And I think perhaps we need like a file of, I'll get a couple of pictures of sort of these colors, and we can have a file open on the counter that will be under stationery. I think it's that one. And we can have, wrong way, our pictures and color samples and stuff like that in there. For this section, we probably could use some of these woodworking tools, sort of on the counter, sort of like, yes, you can use that to cut your wood, and so on and so forth. Then behind us, you'll see the lifts or the elevators actually now go to 3 stories. We've got the top floor, the ground floor, and down into the garage. And each one will tell you exactly, for example, this one, you can obviously only go down. So that says only down, and our pizza slice only says down. Whereas this one shows you both. And we have our top floor, which we will have some offices, maybe just sort of like a large office area for people to sit in, and then perhaps some furnishings here, curtains, pillows, that sort of stuff up here. And then I just threw these stairs in. This is underneath where we will have other hardware options. I mean, we've got lots of options. We have got the paint section, which we've got there. We've got tiling and flooring. We've got tools, hand tools, plumbing. We can still put toilets and showers and all stuff over there. And then we need things like kitchen. We can build ourselves a nice pretty little kitchen here. Bathroom. I think we can probably do a display on the other side there. Then we have fireplaces, heaters, fans can maybe come in here. And lighting. Now what's nice about this section is we can actually do lighting in here. So I think I would like to do the lighting section in here. We are going to have to put in a light switch because, you know, if we leave all the lights on, we're going to have a problem. So I'm going to throw the light switch there, and we can get a nice selection of ceiling lamps. Nice selection of ceiling lamps. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's go with chrome. I'm going to go with white. Alright, what are these details here? Let's go with chrome and make it look good. And for example, we can literally put a forest of lights up here. Obviously the ones, the good looking ones. What is that? Let's maybe go with, actually looks quite nice. I don't want to make it too low because then we're not going to be able to walk underneath it. So that's pretty good. Wrong. Come on. Thank you. Just going to have to set it up nicely. And then obviously we're going to need at least one till, if not more. Ooh, should we go with... What is that? That's plastic. Should we go with gold? I think that's awesome. And a whole forest of stuff here. And then I think we are going to need tools. Let's find... I presume we're going to need an L shape. So we're going to need a corner unit. And to go with the colors of the whole place, I'm going glossy plastic. And then the countertop can be green. We can actually have, where's the lift? The lift comes out there. We can maybe have 2 till points. all these lights hanging over it. Do we want that? But it makes sense. We'll put that, but I think we'll just move these further back and have, obviously we can have some lights there, but not so you've got people standing waiting to speak to someone. And that will work well. We just need some more. It makes sense that it's open, but we don't have open cabinets. So we can either build our own or we can just add to it. So should we take one of these? And then just put, we're going to need a shelf. Damn it. I can, or else I use this. Is that the right color? Yeah. I don't know how much we need. So let's take that much for now. That works. Then we just need to shrink it or expand it slightly. Let's do that and then just bring it in like that. And we can use our little brick onto plastic. Seriously? Alright, can we do plastic? Yes, damn it. Fine. You are going in here. Never actually realized that the little brick didn't come in plastic. And almost just like that, we have it should work. What do you say? Can put a seat, a stool there. Probably, how tall is that? Perfect, actually. And we can go chrome, white. There we go. And then all we need is our tool. Where's our tool? Oh, and electrical stuff. Electrical stuff. Awesome. And we have our tools here. 2 tools should be enough. I mean, it's not like we have a bazillion people in Old Pinnacle, but I think that'll work nicely. And then we can always put something on display in the front here, but we're not blocking the entrance and exit to the stairs or to the lift. And I think we need to change these doors to white. What do you think? Because that makes more sense. Yes, lots of white. Okay, there's a good start. We could probably put up some more shelves. You'll notice the shelves that I'm using here are these stands that they've given us. The only problem with these stands is they haven't given us a shelf for it. I've had to force a shelf onto it, which is unfortunate, and that's why we don't have more of them, because you literally have to make the shelves and then pull them across onto the stand. But we're getting somewhere. All right, so shall we go down? And here we are into the garage. We have a pedestrian crossing here that hopefully you don't get flattened by the cars that are coming in. If we walk up the ramp, we've got the arrows on it. You go up the ramp here, you go up, here's your stop, and then you pull out into traffic, and this is your way in from the other side. And I spent a little bit of time drawing parking spaces all over the floor. I haven't put pillars or anything in yet. That still has to come, and ceiling and stuff. But we have a dumpster here. We've got a tiny parking on the side here. And then if we go on the other side, you'll see it says loading. So this is pretty much where you will go when you are buying bulk. If we come into our store here, you'll see we have all the different wood pieces here that we can sell you. A nice section of wood, and they standing on pallets with these pipes basically keeping them separated. And on this side you've got all your beautiful pieces of marble and granite that you can buy from our very happy people in the front here. Here is the collections and delivery section of the place. Now I was liking this triangle on the wall, but I think I need to change it. And why I need to, damn it. I can't do any of the above. All right, it's going. The reason it's going is because we are going to put a door over here, which is going to be the door into the rest of the storage facility. Now, where is the door that I was wanting? Is it this one? Let's use this one. This one looks good. And then we're just going to put a plain white door on here, which will open into the rest of the storage facility. So this is where all our deliveries will be stored when they're dropped off, before they're actually taken up and put onto the shelves. We also have a semi skylight in here just to bring in some light from the outside. And I presume we are going to need to also use a till. Here's our till. We'll put a few here. There we go. For our very busy staff. And we will need some stools. And seeing as we've used, dang it. Oh yes, I placed that and then I changed it, didn't I? That's okay. I'll put a couple of stools here for our very busy dispatch clocks. There is that. And these are the slightly larger units as opposed to the units downstairs. So we do have to put more stuff on the wall back there, and probably over here. I was looking at maybe some washing machines or stoves or something like that. Maybe a couple of fridges. If we take this fridge, make him white, he can sort of be stacked there, waiting for delivery or collection. And where's, how about this one? I just don't like that purple that they give this thing. Let's go chrome. Okay, that works. Couple of fridges, perhaps a washing machine. Sorry, that's the dryer, that's the washing machine. And yes, they do stack. That works for me. One other thing on this side here. What do we have here that's going to make some, I think boxes. Yeah, I know it's boring, but you know what? We can't stack boxes. How big is this? Is the biggest one, I think. No, it's not. What is it? Yes, we want tape. No, we don't want it to look like that. Let's go with that. We can put a couple of boxes here, and they don't. Oh, they do stack now. Since when do they stack? Apparently, I'm recording this on Thursday, so there is a stream coming out tonight to talk about the new co-op, which apparently we are going to be able to do by ourselves if we so wish, which is interesting. And it also is going to give us, hopefully, a few different things. Will you stand on the box? No, you won't. Okay. Sorry, I'm just throwing some pieces together. How about a stove? Will you sit on the box? Yes, you will. There we go. So, a couple of things waiting for delivery or collection. or have just come in that we haven't placed yet. I think that works well. And the loading, this is going to be a little baby bathroom for the staff. It's the back of the lift, so that could be interesting depending on how you feel about bathrooms. But yes, so we can also consider that maybe just like a, if you're desperate, you can pop in there. I'm not sure. Okay, up we go. I suppose we should have some furniture on display as well. Oy, oy, oy. Too many things, but that's not really a hardware store. That's more, why did I put fridges down there? I don't know. I just lost my mind. Because we have kitchen stuff. Okay. So, in building, we've got ladders, concrete, bricks. We have bricks. I mean, it's not like we can put a whole pallet of bricks. But we can show you samples. You know? That works. We can do marble bricks. Okay, let's do... Ooh, maybe we should have some samples over here of like... Okay, guys, you want to do some stuff? Let's bring you some bricks. What else can we have? Oh, concrete brick, good samples. Rough concrete bricks. Okay, let's just stick with these for now, and then we can put some of the basic ones on the shelves over there. I mean, how would you like these in your showers though? That works for me. And last but not least, our favorite green marble. Awesome. Okay. Let's load some bricks up here, shall we? This would probably be your basic. Let's do a couple of your basic concrete bricks here. Okay. Let's see if we can, damn it. Seriously. Can I pick you all up? Can I move you all? Yeah. That works for me. Might not work for anyone else. I hate these shelves. They never actually allow you to put enough stuff on them. That's fine. Okay. Stacks of stuff. And if I want to just get away with being lazy, I can do that. Let's put it the other way around. Okay, awesome. And then we can do our big, we call these breeze blocks. I don't know if you know them as breeze blocks, because I don't know, there's a breeze in the middle of them. Actually, let's just fill this whole shelf up with breeze block. Okay, Then we've got other bricks. Okay, let's see. What options do we have here? Marble again. Ooh, pea gravel bricks. Raw stone works for me. I like these. These just appeal to me. I'm sorry. I don't know why. They're not exactly what you would expect, but they're fun. I don't know what you want to put in your house. Let's just go with all kinds of bricks and stuff. Awesome. And then we've got the baby ones, like the half-sized one. Or some irregular stone. Can't really see that it's a smaller size unless we put it like that. Ooh, grey sandstone. Let's do that. Okay. That's not bad. Alright. I had my list in my hand and I got excited about bricks. Okay, then we need roof tiles. We're not going to be able to do. Wood we've got downstairs. We can always put a couple of sheets of wood up here, but we have the wood samples. Okay. Moldings and skirtings. Where can we put samples of moldings and skirting? I've put these here because they're literally right in the middle. So maybe we should take a section of this and you know what? Let's just do cork and see how it works. Am I stuck behind the shelf? Yes, I am. If we use this as a sample board, okay, and we can then do moldings. Oh yes, look at that. That works for me. Smart. Okay, wooden planks. We can throw a couple on here. They don't really work because they do actually just blend right in to the core, but we can change them shortly. Samples of beams, columns. Do we want columns? Perhaps some of these. Let's just see. Okay, we're at the bottom. Have we left enough space for wall panels? Not really. That's alright, so what we can do is put that in there. Come on, can I please have you? Thank you. And then we can just change the colors of these. So let's go with the darker. It pops more. How about that? Oh yes, that works for me. We can put a couple more boxes. Ooh. Do we want the big boxes or the little boxes? Let's do some little boxes down here. I like that these boxes stack now. Okay, that works. So, the moral of the story for here would be to actually use that. Hey, I'm not going to argue. We can just sort of highlight what we've got in the shelves there. Okay, that works. That works way better. All right, give me some more of this stuff. I think we'll give the screwdrivers a place of their own. Rubber hammer, hacksaw. Oh yeah, other wood, definitely. You're not going to... You... Really? You won't attach to the wall. Fine, be like that. The wrench pliers we can probably put here. Okay, that makes a nice... Woo! I swear there's a hole there. I swear there's a hole in the floor. Because it's the second time I've fallen through right there. Okay, I like that. Alright, now here I am thinking buckets. We can take the buckets with the lids. So let's go with, hey, let's go with the corporate colors all the way here. What do you say? Maybe not that one. Okay. Awesome. I think we can probably throw them all the way up here. Perfect. And then some hard hats, always good. Now these can hang on the wall. So we can maybe put some on the shelves. Everything's green. Now, crates are not a bad thing to have around, so let's throw a couple on here. And pallets. Now, pallets, very useful tools. Actually, you know what? Let's do that. with that. And can we? Yes, we can put them on the wall. You actually are like, here guys, get your pallets here. Okay, now toolboxes, again, always a good thing to have toolboxes. And these can pretty much fit on the lower shelves. Not that shelf, damn it. Awesome. And then if we wanted to, we could probably line these tools up here as well. These won't fit in anything other than they, but we can fit some other tools. All right, we've got the ladders. Okay, let's you put the grinders down here as well, so you can come by your grinder here. Okay, bench vise for sure. Okay, we've got that. The tacker, it's not a very big tool, but you know what? We'll throw it here. And in fact, put a couple here as well. Awesome. Tires. Do we need tires? I don't think so, but screw boxes always good. We go for the green again. You're going to be so sick of this green. Why do you keep sliding sideways? This is the baby one. Should we do this one white? Where's the last one? Wool? Yes. Look at that. Okay, that's a display of some sort. And adhesive tape. Now we're going to need rolls and rolls of this. So let's go with a couple of colors, shall we? And you can lay it down. So let's just, how can I not stack tape? Okay, I will stack tape like this then. It's just weird. Not going to argue with it. And then I'll just shove it on the wall behind. And maybe put a couple in the front here. And then we need the black one. Awesome. What else am I missing? What have I missed? We've done the bench vise. We've done that. Ooh, we need these. I prefer them in a slightly less. Okay, let's stick these in here. Awesome. And the support, construction support posts. A few of those, always good. Okay, where are we going to put construction support posts? Maybe just a couple floating around here and there. Couple here. There we go. And do we need barrels? What do you put in a what? Alright, now for sandbox only, we've got only a few things that we could use. Possibly things like this, which don't hang on the wall. They stand on the floor, unfortunately. It's fine, we'll just pop a few here. You know, for those people who know what they're looking for. This is the table part. This is smaller, so that can maybe stack over there. This is all the broken stuff. You're not going to buy broken stuff. Alright, then our installations. We've got quite a few things. So maybe we need to take ourselves off here. And this would pretty much be our plumbing type setup. And air conditioning. Let's put the air cons maybe over here. Alright, and then all the pipes and bits and bobs. Will you fit? No, you won't. Damn it. Okay. Let's move you over a smidgen so we can fit everything on this wall. And then all the vents and stuff like that. And then all the pipes. Now, I'm guessing we need a shelf for this. I might be wrong. Let's see if this will sit on a shelf. Not really, it'll sit on a wall. That's fine, it looks like it's sitting on a shelf. Okay, and the vent pipe. And the other vent pipe. It is too big to sit on the shelf happily. Okay, and then will you not fit in here? What is the difference between you and you? Oh, you've got a round bit and you've got a long bit. Okay, we'll take that away and put that there. Here's your options, guys. Okay, this will fit here. Awesome. This little pipe will not fit, but it's fine. Can I? Okay, I can put you down there. I'm guessing you will not fit down there either. Where is he? Fine. Okay. Yes, you'll sit there. And we've got that one. Okay, these are all other... Oh, fuse boxes. We need some fuse boxes. Where can we put some fuse boxes? We've got space here to put fuse boxes, even though it's not the electrical section, it's fine. But let's give them options. Confirm. Okay, fuse boxes. Perfectly. Awesome. Okay, air vents. So this is a conglomeration of all the vents. So let's once again put up sort of a vent. Okay, those are electrical outlets. So here are all the vents. Don't know how many vents we've got, but we'll put them all up here, shall we? Okay, we've got the aircon up. And last but not least, that one. Okay, so those are all the vents. Then we've got all the other stuff. We've got stuff like doorbells, doorbell, electrical outlets, more doorbells. Imagine working here and the people are like, oh, let's push all the doorbells. Doorbell again, number 4. Did I use that air vent? Yes, I did. Okay. No. Is that a different one? No, it's the same one. Okay. Going mad, you can see this. Alright, now we need some radiators. Awesome. We've got the fuse box. We haven't got the towel radiator. Should we put it here? Why not? You know what? Do we need all these? These are just the same radiator double. That one is a fancier one. air vent, electrical outlet, another doorbell. So you can never have too many doorbells. Awesome. So we've got some fun stuff here. Air cons, bits, bobs, pipes, plumbing. Okay, we're getting somewhere. All right, now surface finishes we've done. Roof shingles. We can buy roof shingles. Interesting. Huh. Okay, what else do we need? Some panel? Would the panels be here or would the panels be over in the other section? I don't know. All right. Let's stand here and have a look. Okay. Now what I'd really like to do, which I know we're not going to be able to do, is get some toilets in here. And the toilets will only sit against the wall. No. It's amazing. Oh, it's the showers, I think. No, it's the wash basins. I mean, that's just awe-inspiring, that one. I know they don't come with the cistern attached because that gets put onto the wall, but you know what? We can only do what we can do. That works. Okay. So if we've got that, these toilets are going to look really stupid like this. And okay, it's these ones that will only attach to a wall. So, well, we can do one of two things. We can build a wall. What do you say? Hold on. Ooh. I'm floating. I'm floating. What should we do with it? Should we tile it? Not. Alright. So let's do something like that. Okay, clearly we need to go up a block. That works. Damn it. We need to go up a block. There we go. And then we can put, even that will now fit there, which is quite scary. Okay. Alright, and then we've got 4 that we can put on the other side. And yes, we will be able to get past. Awesome. And we can probably do the same with the wash basin. just want to line these up nicely so they look pretty. There we go. So we have toilets. We can probably do some, how about showers? Should we go for a few? Oh yeah. Works. Although that would probably be better because then you can see it more clearly. Okay, what is the difference between that one and that one? I didn't know they had the bob there. Okay, so that we can probably use the same tile there. Okay. And for effect, I presume that would work. And then we've got this, which we can probably just go with a totally different color and pop it on the wall there. Awesome. Now the question would be, can we use drain? Downward drain? Okay, that works for me. I'm not putting that in my shop, I'm sorry. Bathtubs. Personally, I would like sort of focus on the fancier ones. That's quite fun. Okay, one more. Oh yeah. And then I'll just use this to say building, tools, sanitary ware, and whatever on the walls. And then I'll build up that till point. And let's see. I was going to do the nursery in here, but I think I'm going to extend this building just a single story, maybe a double story, so that the offices run over it. And we can then have an indoor-outdoor nursery. You can see the buildings are starting to flicker. I've been here too long. But while we're here, let's see. We have curtain. Will they? Yes. Can probably probably do curtains on the walls down here. They don't take much space up. Hold on, where am I? Wide ones? Ooh. That's quite scary. We can probably put a mirror or behind this one. Sort of. Oh, I can't get that. Ooh. Okay, now. We keep that full. Does that look like a window? Not really. Okay, scrap that. That is terrible. Alright, we're going to change that because truly, my God. You can do zebras. Do you know what they look like? When they like on the curtain, they actually look like, almost at a glance, they look like skeletons. Maybe zebras. Should we do, no? I really like that. Let's not. Look at how the pattern sort of like warps. It's the pits. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so we have curtains. We have blinds. Okay, curtains, blinds, and we can put tables out here. We're going to have light fitting on this side and wall lights and all the rest of it. And then we will have the two counters here. And what can we have in the front of the counter? Ooh, I nearly dropped my keyboard on the floor. Do we have that we can use as sort of in front of the... It's got a seat on it. We don't want people sitting. It's going to be too tall. Something like this, maybe. That will work. Although what we're going to put in it, we won't know until a little while later. But it will probably be like home furnishings or vases or, I don't know, lamps, candles. Will that fit? No, that's too big. Okay, that's going to have to go over that side. Decor items. Probably standing stuff. Like vases and things. You know? It's very dark in here right now because we have no lights. But we could probably do alarm clocks. Where's the other clock? Awesome. More clocks. That one will work. Do you want to be late for work? Do you want to be at work on time? Buy our handy dandy alarm clocks. And oh yes, gotta have this one. Awesome. I went past that other one because it was really boring, but if we do it in like, there we go. No, we've already got a reddish one. Yellow. Okay, so we'll do something like that on the front of the tills. And probably do something similar to this on the back, but just one. So maybe more. I mean, look at that. That fits perfectly in there. We could do magazines. Okay, where is the design magazine? That one. Like that. If you want any other ideas, join us. We can give you some. They haven't given us any bags that we can use really as shopping bags. I used these ones and those ones the last time. But you can't really use those as shopping bags. The only other thing I can think of is we use the cloth. This thing as a shopping bag. But we are going to need, alright, so maybe we just go with the plain boom. So if you need a bag, can we stack these yet? No. But you can grab a bag if you need. I just can't do a hanging bag, which is unfortunate. Okay. I'm going to leave it here because I can keep going and then, yeah. I think I'm going to put these as end caps mostly here. So we can like, you see, I said I'm going to leave it now. And then I'm like, no, we're just hang on. There we go. And we can put decor items or something in there. Okay, while the background buildings are doing weird things, I'm going to leave it here. As you can see, we've got issues, so I'm going to have to save this multiple times, and then we can carry on next time. But we will also be back at the houses for the decorating of the semi-detached next time as well. Well, flip a coin. It'll either be here or there. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you've got this far. Please vote in the poll for your favorite element. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.